name again?
My name is Autumn Cruz.
Thank you very much. What, the world?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it new for you? Is it stuff that you...
Yeah, some of it is new. A lot of it is new, actually.
Okay.
I didn't really like global in ninth grade.
Really?
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden you do?
Yeah.
And why do you think that is?
I think because I have a new teacher, and she doesn't really make it boring.
So let's talk about that a bit. We're going to kind of get into the depth of the interview. Why do you think, what does Miss Severino do that
She makes it interesting. She makes you want to like learn.
Talk about that. Like what? What does she do that make you want to learn?
She makes it fun.
Okay.
And the homework's like, it's not a whole bunch of homework. She doesn't give us a whole bunch of homework every day.
Okay.
It's like one sheet. It's like a little excerpt. Like when we do Africa, it's a little excerpt about Kenya, and then we just answer questions.
Okay. And how about the lessons themselves?
The lessons are not good. They're fun.
Yeah. Why? What's fun
Like
about them?
she gives us a do now to answer,
Yeah.
and then in the end we answer the do now.
That's what you did in the beginning, right?
Yeah.
What's the do now and what do you do there?
Like she gives us a paper, so we don't have to copy nothing from the board. She has it already set on the paper.
Yeah.
So the do now is mostly about what we learned the day before.
Okay.
And like it makes us take a guess on what we're gonna learn today.
So in this lesson that we just saw today, the do now was when she asked you about what was that? When you come back to your house, right? And you found that someone was there. So what do you think about that? Was that a good activity?
Yeah.
Was that interesting?
It made you think about like put yourself in their shoes.
Did you know about Israel, Jews, Palestine before this
lesson? She gave
lesson?
us our homework yesterday on it.
But before the homework, did you know about
Not
this?
really.
Not really. Okay. So what did the do now make you do? Like how?
It made me like put myself in their shoes.
Okay.
Like if that was like you say, oh wow, they had to be aggressive.
Yeah.
And everything, but if you put yourself in their shoes, you would be the same way. Like you would want your homeland back.
Okay. And then when you heard different opinions, right? She asked you to talk out about it. Was that good? Was that bad?
That was good.
Why is that good?
Like because like the do now is not really, we don't really get a whole period to do it.
Yeah.
So we just write what we think quickly, and then like when you hear other people's opinions, you write it down too.
But why is it good to hear other people's opinion?
Because like it's different from yours, and it's good. Some people give good ideas.
Okay. Yeah. So you feel that you learn from.
Yeah, other people.
Okay. What do you think she wants you to get out of the do now? Why do you think she starts lessons like that?
So we could like kind of have a feel for what we're about to learn.
Okay. And why is that important? Like, why can't you just come in and say, okay, today we're going to be studying about Israel, Palestine, let's
Because
go.
it would be kind of boring if like we just go into class and she just teaches something real fast by reading textbooks and stuff.
So what does the do now do?
Like it helps us give her our own opinion on how we feel.
And why is that important? I'm sorry that I'm digging in this one, but yeah, you know, why is your opinion important for her?
Because.
When you want to, today you came to study about Israel.
Yeah.
Why do you care? Why is your opinion about Israel important to study about Israel?
Because at first we give our opinion on if we were them, and then afterwards we see what they really did.
Okay.
So we like compare and contrast our opinion to what really happened.
Okay, great. And you think that's important to study?
Huh?
You think that's something that's good when you study a new subject?
Yeah.
To have that kind of, that you can have that possibility to compare. You like that?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go over a bit about the lesson, both about what you learned and how she taught it to you. And just tell me what you think about it, just like you did until now. Okay, this is great. So at the beginning, she showed you a PowerPoint. Remember that? Like with a background about...
And we copied the notes.
And you copied. How was that? Did you like that? Not like that?
Because not only did she just tell us to like copy the notes, she also read it over and explained in her own words.
What did you do? Kind of remember? What did you learn from that PowerPoint? What was new for you?
That I didn't know that the Holocaust, like, it really had an impact on why the Jews came to get their land back. I didn't know that.
Okay, so that kind of connection.
Yeah.
Okay, but why was a PowerPoint a good thing? Like, why couldn't you just lecture that?
Because while we're copying, we could hear like her explaining her own words, so we'd understand it.
Okay.
But like if she just like writes it on the board or just talks, some people aren't really good at hearing and writing notes.
What about you?
I'm not really good. You have to talk really slow if I want to get every little detail.
Yeah. So is that so? The
I think it's
PowerPoint
better
is good
PowerPoint,
because you have the visual, because you can see something.
And then she does read it over in her own words, so if you don't really understand what the word is, you could just write what she said.
Okay. Okay, good. And then after that, she showed you. Like you said, she talked about the Holocaust, and then she showed you a couple of maps. Remember, like a map of the partition? You remember that part?
Yeah.
Was that good to show you a map?
Yeah.
Why?
Cause it had the key. The key it showed us like what did it mean? What did the dots mean? That's what you're talking about.
What did that? Sorry.
The dots, the red dots.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that kind of explained, like, instead of just giving me a number and saying this amount of Jews were there, this amount of Arabs were there,
Yeah.
like, it helped us know what part the Jews were in and how much.
And do you remember the map with the separation, like with the two states? Remember that? And you kind of looked at that?
Yeah.
Remember that map? Was that good?
Yeah.
Why? What did you learn from that map?
It, like, gave me an image instead of just reading something on what was going on.
Okay. And do you remember from the maps and from all the background what were the reasons why Israel was established? What were the reasons why the Arabs didn't want Israel to be established? Do you remember? Can you talk about that a bit? Why was this state established? Where did it come from?
For religious purposes, eh?
You talked about it before also a bit, about the Holocaust, remember?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
The Jews came to get their land.
And now why were the Arabs angry?
Because, like, they were there after the Jews left, they all, like, made it into their own homeland, and a whole bunch of Arabs just started coming in and pouring in, and then it was theirs, and then the Jews just came back to take it away from them.
Yeah. And do you feel, is there a right side to this? Like, do you
I think they're both right.
They're both right.
And then they're both wrong.
Okay. Is that an option? They're both right and both wrong? How does that work out?
It was the Jews' homeland, so I understand that they want it back.
Yeah.
But then you can't just go back and just try to take it back. Like, if I go move out the house, I can't just go back and throw people out the house because I want it back. But then again, they were forced out, so it's not really their fault.
Okay. Now, do you remember if she connected it to other things, or maybe in your head you connected to other things you studied?
Like Africa, yeah.
Example, right. How was it connected to Africa?
Because when they separated it into, like in Africa and Rwanda, the two groups, the Tutsis and the Hutus, they didn't agree when the people left, and they wanted to like take over and rule.
Yeah.
They wanted to rule Darfur.
So
they were fighting.
So is it similar? Like the same?
And then the Arabs and the Jews were fighting for the land after the British left.
Okay. Now, do you think that's good? That she makes those kind of connections in the class?
Yeah.
Or doesn't make it mix up in your head? Like you say, wait, I don't understand. I was talking about Israel, talking about Africa. I'm all mixed up. Or is it a good thing?
It's a good thing.
Why is it a good thing?
Because, like, in the global region, it's going to be on everything. So, like, I guess that helps me remember the other things, too. Instead of just forgetting and then going into a new subject.
Why do you think it helps you to remember? Like I said, because logically, you should study one thing, remember that, go on to the next thing. So why
I think,
does that mix up?
If I study one thing and then I learn another thing just about that, I'm going to forget everything else. But when she helps us, like, go back to Africa, I start to remember what happened to Africa instead of just forgetting about the whole thing.
Okay, great. Let's see. Now, there are other parts of the lesson where she just gave you kind of a lecture. Not a map, not a PowerPoint, just she lectured you. Giving you data, like some vocabulary she talked to you about, if I remember, like new words and dates and people. What do you think about those parts? Do you remember them at all? Do you remember the dates and the people? The names and stuff like that? And do you think it's good to lecture about that?
It's not always just copying off the PowerPoint.
Yeah.
She just started talking too.
And when Mr. Severino talks, is that?
Yeah.
And how about like compared to other teachers?
Like she explains to us. Huh?
Compared to other teachers that just, kind of are stiff and stand up and lecture.
Yeah.
Is she that way too sometimes?
Sometimes she lectures us, but she always like gives us the paper so we don't understand when we ask questions.
Okay. And do you understand those lectures, or do you feel? Yeah.
I understand the lectures.
And is it because the way she talks? Is it because something in her personality, or is it because she gives you papers, like you said? Why do you
I think the papers is what helps me the most.
Why is it that it helps?
Because like it's kind of like she writes a whole bunch of notes on the paper for us instead of us writing most of them.
Yeah.
And then she puts the pictures. So like whenever we want to study for a test, we just go back to the notes, and we don't have to go in a textbook or online.
Okay. So you don't like throw papers away. You keep them and then you go over them again and again. Okay. Okay, good. Another part you had in class when she talked to you about when she had you work in groups, like in pairs, like answer questions. Remember that? And now I noticed as just watching, you're all very quiet. Like, you're not talking out loud. You're whispering.
Yeah, because that question, a lot of us didn't really understand what it was asking at first.
Okay.
But then when she started to ask people's opinions, like their answers, I started to understand what the question was.
Okay. So you think that's why people were whispering, because they weren't they didn't have confidence in their answer. And when she started to ask you, it became better. It was
Yeah, when she started to ask, when people started raising their hands to answer,
yeah.
I started to understand what the question was.
And do you like those parts when you have like kind of group discussions or in
Yeah, I
pairs?
like to have group sessions.
Why is that good?
Cause like if you just stay to yourself, you're not always gonna be right. But if you have like a group discussion,
Yeah,
you hear everyone's idea, and you don't only have one idea.
yeah. Anything you can learn from that, or
Yeah,
or does it, like I said, does it get mixed up like different ideas and you don't understand anymore?
You can
Or-
learn from it.
Learn from it, okay. But why? Why learning out of their?
Because like if you forget something, you go and ask one of your friends or whoever's by you.
Okay. Okay. Um. Okay, now let's go. What wasn't good about the lesson? No, or not good, but what did you find more difficult to follow, or what didn't you understand maybe?
Nothing really.
Really, you understood everything 100%?
Yeah.
And other lessons that you have, like what parts of her classes don't you like? Not even from today. Or you feel that are kind of weaker, or other teachers even.
Other teachers?
Yeah. What don't you like about other teachers? I'm sure there are teachers. I'm sure you don't like all the teachers, right?
No.
So why don't you like other teachers?
I don't like when teachers just give you a paper and tell you to do it, and then they did it at the end of the
Like
class.
questions, right? Yeah. Oh, you
They
have.
should like have a lesson at half of the period, and the other period they give you the
And just you have to
practice.
sit down and write.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't like that. Why not?
I don't know. It's just like in math, if she
Yeah.
just gives us a paper and tells us to do it
Okay.
quietly, I think we should like usually work in group works. And first she explains it to us in the beginning half of the
Yeah.
period.
But why? Why? You know, you're sitting by yourself. You're doing.
Because you're
your-
not always right, and then you do the whole thing and you hand it in, and then you get points taken off because you're like wrong.
Oh, okay. So you don't feel that you're learning. You're just.
You're just doing what you know by now.
Yeah. Now, even your class with Miss Severino, it's a Regents course, right?
Yeah.
And you have to have a test at the end. Do you think the way she teaches you is good for that test?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why? Because.
Cause like when we're learning a new thing, we retrace our steps and remember what we just learned,
Okay.
and we don't just forget and then learn a new thing, a
Okay.
new subject.
So you feel that you're prepared for the Regents.
Yeah.
You feel that you know the material. Okay. So if from all the things you said, like you don't like, you like all the things in her class, and there's nothing that you don't like. What is the best method that she uses? What's the best thing you like about her class?
When she gives us handouts,
Yeah.
so and then we watch a movie in the class and we answer the questions,
Yeah.
and then in the end, she always has time in the end so we can go over the questions.
Okay. So what do you like about movies? We didn't see a movie today, but I saw you.
Like sometimes, like when we were learning about Africa this
Yeah.
beginning of the week,
Yeah.
we was watching a documentary on a lady who had two ladies who had AIDS.
Yeah. I wasn't there. Yeah, I saw that. So why was that good?
It like helped me understand the people more than just reading,
Okay.
and it like let me understand how they feel and what they had to go through.
Okay.
What I'm saying.
So even though it could be the same thing that are written on the paper,
Yeah.
you kind of see it as a person, and you like that. Okay. What else? What about tomorrow? You're gonna have another lesson about Israel and Palestine. Are you looking forward to that lesson? Is that
Yeah.
something? Why? What do you think you're gonna learn there?
Cause like I wanna know. Are we gonna learn what happened after they got the land? Yeah, I wanna know what happened after they got the
Okay. Yeah, you feel like kind of.
Yeah.
You want to know what's next. Okay. And now in general, like I told you, this is going to go to new teachers, or people studying to become teachers. If you have any general recommendations you can give, like how to be a good teacher.
You should like always let the students talk to each other like when they need help,
Okay.
and I just sit quietly.
Okay.
And I think do-nows are really good. Do-nows.
At the beginning of the lessons.
Yeah.
Yeah, to kind of get into the. Okay. Anything else you want to say to the universe?
Like PowerPoint. Yeah, PowerPoint too is good.
Okay.
That's all I could think of.
Okay. Anything else?
And like some teachers, like my science teacher, sometimes he goes and gets laptops in the library.
And you actually work in the.
Yeah,
And but why is that good? Like, why are PowerPoints good? Why are laptops good? Why do you like that?
It's like we get to look for the information online and we get to learn more. Like I think I learned more online. Like
Just by yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
Than just sitting there and listening to the teacher for the whole meeting.
Okay, so the fact that you're active, even if it's just looking at pictures or looking at the web, you feel that that's something that's
And images are also good.
Why?
Like if you just write words,
Yeah.
it doesn't really get to go through their brain
Yeah.
to remember.
But you remember the images? Like, is that something that?
Yeah, like the map with the little dots, it helped me
That's something that,
understand
yeah.
more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other images that you remember from today
Um,
that kind of got into your brain?
the pictures from the Holocaust.
Okay. Yeah, those are. Gotcha. Oh, and you say the pictures make you understand the material better as
Yeah.
well. Okay. I think that's good. Anything else you wanna?